Steve, good afternoon. Welcome
Good
back.
afternoon. Thanks, Charles. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. What's going on today?
It's a good day. It's been a
Oh,
very
great,
productive day, which is really cool.
great.
Got a lot of things done, some business, some personal. So it was really cool. My daughter just booked a trip. So she's going to be off flying somewhere. And I am threatening to crunch myself up and go into her luggage so I can go with her. So that's my plan for
Nice.
today. Okay.
That's awesome. Sweet. So what do you got today?
So I've been thinking for a while, which is a good thing. I've been thinking, okay, but, but I've been
He's been
thinking,
thinking.
hey, um, but for a long time, I've always been curious how credit cards work. And it came from years and years ago that my father, now we're talking like 50 years ago, never believed in credit cards. And in the 70s, my parents went away on a trip and they get to check out. And my father goes to give cash because that's all he knew was cash. And they said, we don't accept cash. And
Whoa.
he seriously didn't accept cash in a hotel.
Yeah.
And he was like, why? They said, well, you have to pay by credit card. You have to pay by credit card. He had no credit card. My mother didn't have a credit card. They didn't believe in it. He actually had to turn to the next person online behind him and say, I will give you cash right now. Can you pay my bill? And the guy was nice enough that he took the cash and he paid the bill. Well, actually, he paid the bill first, then he took the cash. Okay,
Yeah.
so, okay. Um, but I remember that story because they were forcing people back then away from cash into a cashless transaction. And of
And what
course,
year? And what year was this?
this was in the early 70s.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Now I'm sure there were reasons other than what's going on today, which I don't want to get into the political side of it by any
Right.
stretch. But one of the things that again caused me to start thinking or continue to think was it's not just the credit card because credit cards can be really, really good tools if used in the right way, but used in the wrong way can really hurt you.
Yes,
So
sir.
I have my own theory and whatever, but I have what I call the credit card scam. Good, better, and different. That's what I call it. And it goes something like this. Again, my view of the world. The credit card companies, banks, and other institutions target high school seniors who have no idea, for the most part, have no idea what the world is really like from a financial perspective.
I
So
agree.
you're 17, almost 18, or you have just turned 18, and lo and behold, in the mailbox comes a letter that says, Charles, congratulations. You have just been approved for a credit card. And Charles sits there and looks at the letter and goes, I know of credit cards. I know I didn't apply, but they approved me. So, okay, I'll take the card.
Yeah.
You look at the card and it says you have a, let's call it a $500 credit line. And like, ooh, this is good stuff. Now, Charles turns around like most people would do, including me, and they want to test it out. Does it really work? Is it really for real? I mean, I got this thing in the mail. So now they go out and they buy your cell phone, they buy a gaming system, they buy clothes, they do whatever they do, and life is beautiful. Charles is smiling ear to ear, and he's happy. All of a sudden, Next month, Charles gets a letter in the mail. Hey, Charles, thanks for using the card. You have to pay for what you just purchased. And Charles sits there and goes, pardon my French. Charles goes, oh shit, what do I do now? Pardon my French. But
Right.
further down in the letter, it says, but Charles, we got this great deal for you. You charge $500, but you know what? Because we like you, give us $20. Now, Charles, who was all crazed, like, how do I pay for this stuff? Now is jumping for joy because charged 500, pays 20. And Charles is happy and goes dancing off, assuming you dance. You go dancing off, and all is good. Next month, Charles gets another letter, and it says, Charles, you know, you still owe us $500, but because we still like you, give us another 20. And Charles is happy again. And this goes on for 2, 3, 4 months. Then he gets another letter that says, Charles, we like you so much, and you've been paying us 20 every month. We're going to increase your credit line from 500 to 1,000. And Charles jumps for joy. And before he could stop jumping, he's out the door. And what's he doing? He's charging the next $500. Following month, he gets another letter. Now you owe us 1,000, but we like you. Give us 30. Charles is happy. He gives him 30. And this process goes on and on. And about 6 to 12 months later, another letter shows up. You're such a good customer. We love you so much because you're paying on time. We're going to give you another credit card with another $1,000 balance. Jumps for joy. What does he do? Goes out, charges another $1,000. For the $2,000, now maybe he owes 50. And this process continues and continues and continues. And before he knows what hit him, Charles is in debt thousands of dollars, but he's only paying for 30, 40, $50 a month. Here's the problem that they don't tell you, but when you sign for that credit card, it's in that little tiny print on the bottom of the contract that nobody reads. And basically it says, as long as you keep paying the minimum payment, you're good. But if you figure out the interest that you're paying on that $2, $3, $4, $5,000, the 30 that you're paying doesn't even cover the interest. So you now owe more and more, and you will never pay that 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 off. And the insurance company sits at not insurance company, the credit card company or the bank sits there and says, I don't care about the $2, $3, $4, $5,000. I don't care. Because if you add up that 30 or 40 every month times all the years you're going to pay, it's way more than the 3 or 4 or 5,000 you charged. They don't care. And what they also typically don't tell you is the interest rate that you're paying on your purchases could be as high as 32%. So let me give you a little scenario as to why that's a big deal. If you took money and you went to a bank and you deposited whatever money, they will give you maybe 1%. One. So you're giving them money at 1%, but they're turning around and that money that you gave them, they're lending back to you in the form of a credit card which is your own money back to you at 32%. Tell me if that makes sense. Because in my mind,
1000% makes sense. Yay, hippie hooray for me. I only have to make a little small payment every month. I'm good.
that's right. And
It's
that's what
crazy.
Charles says month after month after year after year.
Yeah. And you never pay it off.
And you never pay it off.
Yeah.
So as you get older, you are starting out your adult life in debt.
And that,
That's what credit cards will do to you. That's what mortgages will do to you. That's what student loans will do to you. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying from a monetary perspective,
yeah.
just be careful of what you spend and what you charge.
Huh?
My personal, out of experience, because I got burned very badly with credit cards, my experience now says if I charge something, I pay it off completely next month when the bill comes in. The
Yeah.
only time I don't is if an emergency hits that I don't
Mm.
have the cash for, but I have to do it. You know, tires on my car blow out, my engine on my car blow out, which it just
Yeah.
did, which it really just did. You
Oh,
know, I don't have the cash, so I charge it and I'll pay it off as fast as I can to minimize the interest expense.
yeah.
Other than that,
Interesting story for you. Interesting story for you. Early middle 20s. I was a guy, I'm never going to get married, have kids. I'm going to be single all my life. This guy racked up 17 credit cards, over $40,000 in debt.
gee,
So along comes marriage and kids. And then I'm like, wow, I got this debt. I got to fix this.
yep, yep,
It's a problem.
it is a
Don't
problem.
be like Chuck.
I'll be like Chuck. Now, there are ways, all legal. I will not do anything. Again, I won't do anything unless it's legal. There are ways that you can minimize that debt. Most of those options will eliminate it, but you will kill your credit rating. And you can sit there and say, so what? But the difference is if you don't have a good credit rating, you will not be able to get future credit until you fix it. You will not be able to make purchases until you fix it.
Yeah,
The right way to do it is to find the solution, which obviously I can offer, but to find the solution that allows you to pay that off in full in a much shorter period of time instead of forever, which is the old way, which we talked about. That's the way to do it. Do it
yeah,
right. And if even if you have all that credit, but you do it right, believe it or not, your credit score will go up, which
yeah,
will make it easier to get and cheaper to get more credit.
yeah. Yeah, for the sake of just for our short time here with
Mhm.
our meeting today, just give one example of how you think the best way to handle that.
So the best way to handle it is to whatever payment you, okay, so there's a couple of different ways. One is try to find, and there's plenty of them out there, find a credit card that has a zero interest rate for 9 months, 12 months, 15 months. Apply for it. And if you receive that new card, transfer your balance from the high rate card to the zero rate card. Therefore, everything you pay is directly against the principal, not going towards the interest. The key to that is you have to be disciplined and pay as much as you can as fast as you can. So let's say you got a 12-month card with a zero interest rate. At the end of that 12 months, apply for another one and roll that balance and roll that balance. This way you continue to roll, but remember, pay it off as fast as you can and don't go back to using all the old cards.
Right. But
It's the
isn't some of
mindset.
the credit card companies getting slick to that and starting to charge these transfer fees now?
Even if they charge a transfer fee, how much is that fee versus all the interest you're going to save?
Yeah,
So even if they
makes
charge
sense.
you $100, $200 to transfer a balance, but you're going to save thousands in interest, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Now, I would suggest that you do speak with someone who can help you and guide you, because if you don't do it right, you could be in worse position. It's definitely something to do, but get the help of somebody who has the experience to help you. So
And that guy
that's
is
one of the ways.
Steve.
Yeah, I
Reach
mean,
out to
yes,
Steve.
I do offer that. And again, I don't charge for conversation. So don't
Yeah.
let that stop you. Other people do, I don't. Um, but that's one of the ways. There's another way that when people take a 30-year mortgage, if you've never heard this before, let's just say you take out a $200,000 mortgage. If you pay that every month for the whole 30-year mortgage, that entire loan will cost you 600,000. But you only took out 200, but all that rest is interest and fees. There are ways that you can take that 30-year mortgage, pay it off in as little as 10 years, not paying much more than you're paying every month now. But these are some of the things that I can show people how to do that you can do on your own. I'll just show you how to do it and you go do it. And again, I'm not going to charge you to tell you how to do that. But if I can help save you money and keep you out of trouble, I'm okay with that. I'm here. Charles is here to help you do the right stuff so you don't get into trouble.
Yeah. These are some of the things that, and, again, we talked about this last week, and this is one of the things that I kind of wish I knew, as I was younger,
Right.
some of these things we talk about, because this is a big one, because this really hurt me, and I'm still paying the price for credit cards, house, home mortgage, things like that, car loan, that are still plaguing me to this day. Here we are, 20, 30 years later, but it's okay. I'm getting there, and one step at a time.
Right.
And again, if we can help one person who watches this video, says, I want to take Steve's advice,
Right.
I mean, talk to Steve. I think that goes a long way, because saving one person from what we fell into would be awesome.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
So for them to find you, it's remind me, Chuck at QACteam.com.
You got it. Chuck at QACteam.com
There you
and
go.
Steve at,
Go ahead. Let's see if we're a guy. Yeah, all right.
I got it.
I don't
Steve
want to put
at
you on the
Steve,
spot.
Steve at SteveKentFS.com.
Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
See,
See, we are here to help you. That's it. I mean, we gave you our email addresses. Contact us. Let us help you. Our
yeah,
goal for doing these is to help.
yeah.
Um, and what is today?
It's Friday at 4,
Bingo. It's Friday at 4. It's Friday at 4 somewhere.
4 o'clock somewhere.
It's 4 somewhere. We're here every week. Let us know how we can help you. Let us know what topics you would like us to cover. Answer questions again from the financial perspective. I don't just blow it out there, but from the
Right.
financial side, because it's too wide.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into trouble either. So okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, let us know.
But what a great topic today, Steve. I think, with the short time that we have and we do these, you hit a lot really fast, because I think that's important. Credit is huge. You know, you can get anything you want, but you have to be careful of how you get it and how much you get, because it can really come back to bite you.
It can.
Yeah.
It's if you have the knowledge before you get into trouble or before you make any decisions, it will make your life from a financial perspective much, much easier, safer, and happier. Trust
Yeah.
me. I've been there. Charles has been there. Again, we don't want you to make those mistakes. That's why we're telling you this stuff.
Yeah. And I want to say it here live recording is that I want to take you up on that. Let's turn my $26 into 260,000.
We can do that if you've got some time, more
We'll
than my
figure it out.
lifetime, but some time. Okay.
Uh, Steve, thanks again for coming on Friday at 4. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Charles. My
Good
pleasure.
stuff, man. Good
My
stuff.
pleasure. Glad I
Yes,
could help.
sir.
Thanks for the opportunity for being here.
Absolutely. And, like you said, man, reach out to us. We're here to help. If you have any questions, QACteam.com, Steve Kent Financial Services, reach out, man. You know,
We're here.
absolutely.
Thanks
Thanks,
again.
Steve.
Enjoy the weekend.
Have a great weekend, man. Talk
You
to you
too.
soon.
Thanks.
See you,
Take
buddy.
care. Bye.
You too.